2, 1. Welcome to Dell's Ducks this week again. Tonight we are at the Pizza Ranch, another one of our sponsors, and I want to thank right off the bat Jason and Steve Timlin. Thank you very much for your hospitality tonight.
Thank you.
You're co-owners of the Pizza Ranch. It's been in the Lake Delton area since '05. And it moved here near the Kalahari restaurant in 2013. So you've been here almost as long as you're in the other place. Was there any difference as far as attracting people to the restaurant and stuff?
Well, you know, traffic is much heavier here because where we were at before on the Parkway was down more towards the Wisconsin Dells area, where there's less attractions. With all the attractions and hotels out here, we get a lot more traffic. Obviously, when we could build a new facility, the facility shows much better. We were able to build a facility that was big enough to accommodate large crowds during our busy season, which is the summer, and then we can shut off part of it as we see across the wall here in the winter, so that it accommodates our busy season and our slower season.
Right. This really is a massive restaurant for sure, yeah. Compared to the other ones I've been in. Pizza Ranch is mostly a Midwestern chain right now. Am I right on that?
Yeah, almost totally Midwestern. One opened, a Pizza Ranch opened in Branson, Missouri last week, and there's development going on in Texas as we speak. Arkansas. There's pizza ranches in Colorado, but for the most part, the majority of them are in Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin.
Okay. And Jason, one of the things that I think a lot of people may not know about Pizza Ranch is they have really high Christian values. That's a big part of the whole idea of the Pizza Ranch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's built on the Christian pillars, yeah, same ideas. You know, drive the business, drive Christianity, and some things, yeah.
That's a pretty neat angle. What would you say, you have a lot of stuff on your buffet, what would you say the more popular items are? Is it pizza or chicken or?
Chicken, people really love the chicken, you know. Stuffed crust pizzas have been really going fast lately too. So,
And you've been a sponsor of the Dell's Ducks for the past several years. First of all, we just want to thank you for that. We just couldn't operate without people like you. Have you had a chance to get down to the Poppy Waterman and check out any games?
not this year, but I've been there lots of games in the past, you know. It's usually pretty good competition. I'd like to take my kids. I like to watch the skating and the hitting. And they want to see a fight one day. I could tell them probably not going to happen.
Should have been there Saturday.
I've gone to a number of games, and in my prior role when I was running a manufacturing platform, if I wasn't going, I gave them to one of my managers, and so he or she, because two of them were women, could take their kids to the games. So,
Oh, that's great.
So we were using the tickets.
Oh, that's awesome. And do you like the junior level, as it's pretty competitive, and like you said, it can be pretty rough too?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and we never played hockey in high school, although we're from Minnesota. But before we moved here, I was a season ticket holder for the Minnesota Wild, and
Oh, nice.
we went to a lot of games. It was fun.
Yeah, Minnesota's a big hockey state for sure, yeah. Well, we just can't thank you two enough for letting us come here tonight and for helping the team out over the past couple of years like you have. And let's hear it again for Jason and Steve Timlin.
Thanks, guys.
Oh.
First Christian values, that's awesome. And also you have an allergy-free menu. You have an allergy-sensitive menu. And you actually have items here that people that have milk, egg, or peanut allergies can have. And that's awesome for a pizza place. My son's enjoying it right now, so thank you very much. It's awesome. Thank you, guys.
As part of our Christian values, you know, we want to be part, not just known as a restaurant. We want to be part of the community, and part of the community is giving back. So we have community nights where we bring groups in, and they have the opportunity to earn tips for their church groups or the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts, and they also have an opportunity to get a percentage of what our sales are at that night also. So, you know, being part of the community is more than just trying to make a living off the community. It's making sure that we're out in the community and we're giving back to the community, so.
Exactly. That's the same values that the Ducks have too. Well, thank you guys. Gonna move on, and tonight our feature is that we're talking to our 98s. We have quality instead of quantity this year. We only have 5 98s, but they are all well respected on our team, and I think at least 3 of them are returning players. So we're just gonna go around the table here. I'm gonna start with you, Colton. Colton Maynard from St. Clair, Michigan. We're glad to have you back. You had to go home for a minute at the beginning of the season. It's great to have you back. Last year, 37 games, 17 points. This year, 5 points in only 11 games. And your presence is felt away from the game sheet as much as on the game sheet. You're a big-time penalty killer, great forechecker, and basically a banger on the team. Is that a role you like?
Yeah, I definitely like hitting a lot. I like to bring the boys together, and you know, it's fun to get the boys hyped up with a big hit or a fight, but I'm not fighting anymore. That's not me. I'm a changed man.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point that you bring up there, Colton. As of this past weekend, kind of a new attitude on the team, turning the other cheek, and really kind of, it worked very well against a Hudson team that kind of was frustrated with the way things went in the first game, and then in the second game a little bit more physical, but definitely the team making an effort to play on the power play instead of the penalty kill right now.
That was nice. It was definitely nice to be on the power play instead of always killing. So it was a change, and it showed, and we worked well with it. So hopefully we can keep that going.
All right, as a 98, obviously you're starting to look at where you want to go after junior. There's been a couple showcases and a couple trips to colleges. The Ducks do a very good job, I think, of showcasing their senior players. Have you? Where are you at in terms of making plans for beyond this year?
I'm still very open to like any school. I'm not sure if I want to continue at a D3 level or if I want to focus on an education.
Right.
I'm kind of just leaving that up to as the year progresses and see where I get and see what I can get for offers. And so, as of right now, I'm still very open and have nothing.
Sounds like a smart approach. I think the way I understand it, you played a showcase and a couple other games. It's at the second and third showcases that the schools start to reach out and talk to the guys. So still plenty of time on that.
Yeah, definitely. We have, I think, 2 more showcases? Yeah, 2 more showcases left. So.
Exactly. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Colton, and now Ian Rogers, who not far down the road from St. Clair. You're a Detroit native, is that right?
Yeah, I was born in Arizona, and I moved to Michigan when I was in 8th grade, around 14 years old, and that's when I started really getting serious about hockey, and started progressing with it, as I went on.
Right. Now, did you play hockey out west as well?
Yeah, I played a lot of Pee Wee hockey, in Arizona. The competition wasn't nearly the competition as it is in like the Midwest northern areas of the United States. So it was a good experience.
You played 8 games with the team so far. You played with the Novi Ice Cats. That must be a AAA type team.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. Last year with the Apple Core teams. That's in a different junior league, isn't it?
Yeah, the Eastern Hockey League.
Right. Okay. So you are, from what I understand, elusive on the ice and sneaky fast. Have the ability to kind of disappear and find openings for getting passes and stuff like that. Is that the way you like to play?
Yeah, a little bit. Part of playing the game is just kind of it's a team game, so gotta move the puck a little bit, try to get those goals, and that's how you win. So anyway, I can do that.
Any difference between East Coast Junior and Midwest, do you think?
Yeah, huge difference. In the East Coast, it's not nearly as physical as West Coast. I'd say that it's a lot more physical, and I'd say that more of the schools here are more like well known for hockey.
Yeah.
you know, as opposed to having a lot of smaller schools that, you know, people don't know about hockey there as much, you know.
So, do you like that physical type of play? Is that what drew you here?
Yeah, it was something I'm used to, you know, when I played in Michigan. So when I went to New York, it was kind of mostly a skill set, you know, trying to, you know, play like, you know, passing game, you know, it's more faster, but here it's, you know, you have the fast pace as well as like, you know, the physical aspect, you know, so.
And have you started to make plans for beyond this year?
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to hopefully, you know, get accepted into a biology, you know, major.
Biology, okay.
Yeah, nursing. That's kind of the route I want to take. But you know, I'm still have my options open. Still looking at colleges, and you know, hopefully I make a decision soon. You know.
So it's for you. It's going to be a combination of hockey and finding a school that has a good biology nursing program.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
Right.
You know, as like, you know, probably a smaller school would be a better fit for me, I would say. Something where, you know, it's not just hockey, it's, you know, education as well. And that's something that,
That's what it's all about.
yeah, that's really what it's all about.
Yep.
So,
Very well said. All right. Well, thank you, Ian.
yeah, absolutely.
Alex Scarcella, second-year player on the Dallas Ducks, like Colton, returning junior, with a lot of junior experience, native of White Lake, Michigan. Actually started out in a couple Canadian leagues. It looks like he played in Sarnia and Moortown.
Yep.
And what was it that drew you to the Ducks last year?
Honestly, it was after my first year in Canada. There, it was, you know, kind of looking to maybe come back home and come back to the U.S. And I got a call from Coach Worrelton, and you know, it seemed like a really good fit for me. And you know, he is really well known coach, and you know, is really you know, has a lot of experience in the coaching, and has, you know, really helped a lot of players get to where they want to go.
Yeah, that's very true. Where was the connection made? At a showcase event, or just something you watched?
It was
film?
actually at a camp, North American camp. He saw me and you know, reached out. I didn't, you know, I see him at this camp or anything like that. He just reached out over the phone, and yeah, that's how it kind of all started.
Probably one of the fastest skaters in the USPHL, and with an amazing ability to find open ice. It's just been awesome to watch you this year. Where did you develop that speed? Who taught you that?
I don't know. It's kind of just, you know, it's kind of just been something, you know, being a smaller player, I've had to, you know, definitely not going to win my battles on the boards and in the corners. So to kind of be able to get away from, you know, the bigger players and stuff, I just kind of had to be fast. So just, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just something I've always kind of had.
And you've really found your scoring touch here in the last couple weeks. Last year you had 30 points in 42 games. This year you have 15 points in 13 games. You have 4 goals, and I think they've all come in maybe the last 2 or 3, 4 games. Really found your scoring touch. Is there anything different? Like, you just feel more confident, or what's the big change?
Yeah, I think confidence is a big thing, but it's also kind of just been, you know, having more fun on the ice. I think the first few weeks there, you know, I was a little frustrated and, you know, trying to, you know, put a little bit too much pressure on myself. But these past few weeks, you know, just kind of tried to let loose and just have fun, and, you know, it's worked out for me.
Okay. Now I got to think that you're another one that's got plans of playing beyond junior. Have you started to map out something, or are you still kind of got a lot of schools on your list right now?
Yeah, I've definitely got a list of schools. I've talked to a few over the past summer and the past few weeks. There's been a few schools in contact, so you know, obviously looking at that. But like I said, you know, and like these guys have said, it's still very early.
Yeah.
So, you know, still taking everything in, and, you know, seeing the few schools that I maybe didn't have on my list that I'm, you know, maybe putting on there now. So, yeah, there's definitely a few schools. So,
Okay.
Sure.
And what kind of courses are you looking at, or are you kind of open on that as well?
Yeah, pretty open. I think, just kind of going into business. A lot of schools have it, so
Yeah.
It hasn't been too hard to kind of find schools in that aspect. So yeah, it's been pretty.
Yeah, for sure. If you're interested in getting a business sort of major, that definitely leaves a lot of doors open
Yeah,
for you for
right,
sure.
right.
All right, so let's move on to our defenseman, Austin Phillips, another returning player,
How's it going?
native of Milwaukee, originally from Texas. This year, battling the injury bug a little bit. Out right now with an upper body injury. But you got 7 points in 12 games, which is actually the same amount of points you had last year already.
Yeah.
You definitely were more of a puck-moving, offense-minded defenseman this year, I think, weren't you?
Yeah. The coach kind of gave me a role at the start of the season that he expected me to fit into, and once I finally got my head around it, I was able to really take advantage of it, and that's kind of where it all fell into place and helped me out.
It's been an interesting year for the D Corps. Understaffed at times. We have a couple converted forwards playing on the blue line right now. Did you feel a lot of extra pressure because of that?
At the start, I did. Originally, especially during practice, my D partner's always Beckett Patton. He's a really skilled D, and so I've kind of learned a lot from him because this is my first year, or full year of D, and so there's still a lot that I needed to learn, and the coach kind of put us in the situation where we had to teach the newer D how to play D, and looking back at it, like, they've done so well. There's Crowder, who's, he's running for our top 2 spots,
Yeah,
so
he's really
I better
filled in
get back
well.
soon.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, a key role for you on the power play, kind of a quarterback type thing. In this day and age, it's really difficult to get that big shot from the point because there's so many guys blocking it. You have to be a lot more creative now when you're playing on the blue line on power play, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm lucky to have Nolan and Stone on my power play, and so that kind of helped me, use really skilled outlets to get the puck to the net, so I don't always have to be the one taking the shot. Because let me tell you, those 2 boys have a lot better shots than I
Yeah,
do.
that's right. Get it to the guys who can put it in the net.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Well said. Now, have you had a chance to kind of think about what you might like to do beyond this year, Austin?
Yeah, definitely. The long run, I'd like to go to med school. I've been in a family that is heavily in the med field. My mom, she's the IT director of Acumen, which controls all the hospitals in the country. And so I've been to a lot of hospitals, and like you said, the injury bug. So I've been in a lot of hospitals. But no, it's really allowed me to see how great that field does and what they do for the people. And so I want to transition my skill set into going in the med field.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you might be spending a little bit of time at school then.
Yeah, good decade.
Okay, moving on now, our final senior, Emil Norman. Now, this is different. A lot of these guys have been with the Ducks for a couple years. Emil is in USA for his first time. Very successful in his homeland. He's from Kungsbacka, Sweden. Very successful with the U20 and even a little bit of pro in Sweden. The ironic thing, maybe you can explain this. Last year, it looks like your numbers were better with the pro team, the D2 team, than they were with the juniors. Just a little bit more help on the blue line, or?
I mean, the senior team I played for was very organized compared to our junior team, which helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Not just with the stats for me or the players, but the whole game, winning games and stuff like that. We had a really, really skilled team last year with the seniors, and it took us really far. And it was an amazing year of my hockey career.
Awesome. So first time in USA, has it been everything you expected, or how have you fit in?
I mean, the way I expected the hockey is that the hockey is a lot better than I thought it would be, to be honest.
That's good to know.
Yeah, and the city here is amazing. even though it's pretty small. I really like it. And overall, like the food, the people, my billet, the team, everything is more than I could ever ask for.
Fantastic.
We've got good food.
So,
Wide variety of food.
first shutout this past weekend. Congratulations on that. You've done a stellar job. You've been getting sort of a big bulk of the games, and in some of them you face a lot of rubber. Is that something that you like, or do you prefer maybe just a little bit more regular type game?
I mean, they shoot a lot more pucks here in the States
Yeah.
compared to Sweden. I think they have an average of like 40 shots a game so far,
Yeah.
which is fun because it's not just fun for me as a goalie to facing shots, it's also development because the more shots you get in a game, the better you will be next game, hopefully.
What?
And-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, and I mean, it's not that I want the shots, but I mean, it's not fun to be a goalie playing 60 minutes if you only get like 10 shots a game.
Yeah.
You want to have some competition as well.
Yeah, I get that. I think a lot of goalies like to get the work.
Yeah.
They'd rather have the shots, and obviously that's what it's all about for you. If you want to be a better player, you got to face some shots.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Oh, with the smaller ice, does it seem like the guys are on top of you, or is it different angles or anything different like that?
The first couple of weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks on ice, was a huge difference with my angles, going from a big rink to a smaller one. But I got into it pretty quick, I think, and right now it feels like I know my angles a lot better.
Okay. Emil, have you given any thought to continuing hockey in the U.S. at the collegiate level, or are you more or less looking to go back home after this?
Well, I got here in the first place because I wanted to play college next
Okay.
year, so that door is very open.
Okay.
And of course, academic part is really important too. So we'll see what happens, but I hope to go somewhere.
The season starts a little bit earlier in Europe. Do you get a chance to kind of get a little bit of practice and games under your belt before you come here?
You mean this year?
This year, yeah.
Yeah, I had like 1 week or something before we
Just to-
practice.
yeah.
So not that much, but a little bit.
Yeah.
We-
I guess at the junior level, it's pretty much the same, isn't it? Yeah.
Junior level is pretty much the same, but we play a lot more games here this year than we used to.
Okay, I've been hogging all the airtime here. Brian, any questions you want to ask any of these 98s?
All these young men have really impressed me this season. And, Philly, he's been, like the injury part, he's been a part, but the times he was on the ice, he was dominant in that season. It's really to watch. Emil, your skills are, I'm amazed. You have excellent skills. You see pucks that other people can't. The one that got past you in the last game, the third goal of the game, it was literally like a tennis ball. I mean, it just bounced. It was not your fault. It was clearly just a reckless puck that got in. And the boys, I mean, you came back. Al, you came up with a game-tying goal in the last game. That was an amazing victory.
Nice job.
Colton, he got his first goal of the season on a Friday game. That was very impressive. All you boys are doing great. Any college that is interested, you wouldn't go wrong with any one of these fine players. So,
Yeah, great feed on the previous night too on a key goal. Very unselfish, 2-on-1. Got that over to Crowder and left him really just an empty net to shoot at. That was beautiful.
Crowder did all the work. I mean, he broke it out. I was cheating on the blue line because I got a little scruffle behind the net, and then it was an easy pass.
So if you weren't watching last week, the Ducks came up with a couple of really big wins. First of all, the shutout by Emil Norman. I think that was a 4-0 win against the Havoc, which just happens to be the top team in the division. The following night, one of them games that just could be a major turning point in the season. Coach Worlton pulls the goaltender with less than 3 minutes to go, I believe. We're down 3-1. We get 2 goals to tie it and then break their hearts with a goal less than a second to go. It just anybody can answer this at once, but I just feel like this has got to be kind of a launching pad right now. I just feel like the confidence must be sky high.
I mean, I could definitely agree. I mean, the energy in the locker room after the first game, you could tell it was completely different. The second game, it was brought into the second game, and then after that win with, I think, 4 minutes left, we capitalized on it, and the energy was unreal.
Okay.
I mean, we started the week off in practice also very well, and I think you were right with a turning point.
Okay. And so you take it to Chicago, Ian. I would think that the team has got to be just ready to build on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Hudson is a really good team, but we still have like the rest of the season ahead. So, it's just we realized our potential, and we're gonna go from there. That's just taking it, to these next games, and that's all you can do.
Okay.
One step at a time.
For the guys that are here for the first time, I got to think that it's kind of nice to be getting on the road a bit to see some other rinks, and just get out to Boston for you, Emil. That's got to be kind of a nice culture thing for you.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, and just hopefully carry this thing as long as you can.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for now. I appreciate you coming out. Thank you for Pizza Ranch for letting us do this thing tonight. It's a great place. If you want to come down here, they have pizza, chicken, they have great desserts, they have salad bar, soup, everything you can think of, and it's all on a buffet, so you can get whatever you want. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.